Welcome to the Road to Brazil presented by Castrol. I'm your host, Alan Hopkins. The next stop on the U.S. men's national team's 10-game World Cup qualifying tour sees us in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, as the men of the U.S. will take on Costa Rica in their first home match of 2013. It only took 60 minutes for the game to sell out at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, and the team is hopeful that the home field advantage and the altitude will be more than enough to help them get their first win of hexagonal play. Let's get you caught up on the standings after the first round in the 6-team group. After the first round of matches, only 3 points separate the leaders Honduras and the national team, with a quartet of teams even at a point apiece. Looking at the schedule ahead, Mexico hits the road for the first time traveling to Honduras. Meanwhile, Jamaica opens their home schedule against Panama. In addition to the highly anticipated U.S.-Mexico matchup on match day 3, Jamaica and Costa Rica will also prove to be a key contest to keep an eye on as what amounts to the first third of the Hex comes to a close. Without a doubt, one of the most important variables to success in qualifying is winning your home matches. And head coach Jurgen Klinsmann is taking full advantage of the extra time to prepare his team ahead of the FIFA double fixture date.
The time frame is thankfully a completely different one to the Honduras game. It was literally impossible to bring the players from Europe into Honduras, in 2-3 days preparation, completely different climate, different circumstances, and that's what really gave us a hard time. I think now having the team come into Denver and having 5 days in Denver to prepare them for Costa Rica is completely different. It gives us time on the field to work a lot in a tactical way, to get the players all on the same page, to have real quality sessions. The second part is the thought process. We are already in altitude, we adjusted to altitude. It makes it a little bit easier then to go into higher altitude than in Mexico City. But Denver was our first choice because of the support of the people in Denver, and we can't wait to get to that game now.
After 5 days of preparation, the players are looking forward to having the home field advantage and understand just how important the next 2 qualifiers are.
To step on the field in big games and feel the support of the crowd and know that we're playing in a stadium where the people and the fans are behind us. That's what playing at home is all about. That's what when you talk about having a home field advantage, that's what it means. And so for us, I think we're expecting that on Friday. It's a really important game. Costa Rica are a good team, but we are committed to stepping on the field and giving everything we have, and knowing that there'll be 18,000, 20,000 people there all rooting for us and pushing us on.
First and foremost, we know it's going to be a hard game, and we know it's an important game, and to have it at home, is definitely a bonus, and hopefully, Costa Rica is looking at it as it's going to be a tough game for them, not only playing against us, but also having to deal with the elements of being in Denver, of being in a place where it's going to be hostile for them, is only going to help us.
Playing in Denver, the altitude, the cold, hopefully the Costa Ricans don't like that, and it gives us an even better advantage, to get 3 points. But at the same time, we need to win the soccer game, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Doesn't matter if it's 20 degrees outside, doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside. We need to win, so the conditions, go out the window once the whistle blows. And the guys know what kind of game it's going to be, what kind of game it's going to look like. It won't be pretty, but hey, as long as we get 3 points, that's all that matters. That's why we do the things to get to the World Cup.
It's crucial because you find yourself getting into a situation where you might need results to kind of go your way towards the end. You got to put destiny in your own hands, and the only way you can do that is starting off on the right foot. Disappointing to lose the first game. We still have 9 games to go, but it's very important that we get the points necessary to give us a little bit of a cushion and put ourselves in a good position to qualify, because as you go longer in the competition and trying to qualify, the stress is going to build up. and it's going to be, become more difficult to try to qualify if you're relying on results from other teams, or, you're relying on, to a must-win game and you have 3 games left, and if you don't win, you're automatically out. So you need to make sure that you get the points necessary to, make sure that you're going to be one of those teams that is not relying on anybody else to help you out.
We know there's quality in the team, and there's a reason why everyone's been called into the national team. So for us, it's a matter of now making sure we're on the same page, making sure we're organized, hard to play against, and when we go forward and we take our chances and make sure we can finish them. I think if we do that, then it will be a big stepping stone for everyone.
The national team is bigger than any one player, and so the strength of this team has always been that when guys are missing, the next guy is ready to step in and give an effort that comes through in a big way. And so we have total faith in every guy who's here and every guy who's going to step on the field. And like I said, that's what playing for the national team is all about, is having a group of guys who, no matter what the circumstances, no matter who's missing, who's not available on a given day, are just ready to go out and leave everything they have on the field and represent our team and ourselves and our country in the best way possible.
The U.S. will face Costa Rica at sold-out Dick's Sporting Goods Park on March 22nd at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. The match will be broadcast live on ESPN, Watch ESPN, and Unimas. 4 days later, the USA seeks its first ever World Cup qualifying win against Mexico on its home soil. Kickoff from Estadio Azteca is set for 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with coverage on ESPN, Watch ESPN, and Univision beginning at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Fans can follow both matches on USsoccer.com's match tracker and on Twitter @USSoccer. After all U.S. matches, make sure you check out the Castrol Player Index on USsoccer.com. It's U.S. Soccer's official performance index, and it'll show you how every player rates during every match. That'll do it for this edition of The Road to Brazil, presented by Castrol. I've been your host, Alan Hopkins. We'll see you next time.